the Kahr CM9. This is my daily carry handgun. It shoots great. It's lightweight, it's nice and slim, it carries really easily. And carrying this gun is made even easier when you pair it with a great holster like this one by Remora holsters. Stick around for my review of it. Hello my friends, Late Boy Scout here. I am a concealed firearm permit holder. This is the gun that I currently carry concealed. If you're watching this video, you're probably a concealed firearm permit holder too, interested in videos regarding guns and holsters for concealed carry. Well, today I'm going to talk about holsters for concealed carry, these ones by Remora. This is a pretty interesting holster. As you can see, this one has begun to take the shape of my Kahr CM9. With good reason. I've been using it a lot. And that means this is going to be a pretty positive review. Now, these are pretty interesting holsters. They attack the whole concealed carry idea in a completely different way from just about any other holster I've seen. In the first place, they work great for pocket carry. Okay, they're obviously shaped just for that. Kind of a nice flat bottom, rounds up a little bit, meant to squeeze into your pocket. And it stays there pretty well. Now, depending on the gun you carry, I feel like this one right here, the Kahr CM9, is just a little bit big for pocket carry. That's me, that's my size. You know, it might be a different situation for you and however you like to carry. I don't really want to carry a gun in my pocket. Okay, I just don't really care for that. I carry other things in my pocket. Lots of other things. So that's not really how I go, but these are good holsters for that. And here's the reason why. I already pointed this out. It's also got this fantastic sticky, not really sticky, but kind of a grippy material on the outside of it. You can see that raised texture there. Okay, it's a rubbery material on the outside, and that raised texture serves to grab onto and cling to clothing. See that? Okay, this is the type of, what you see here as the backdrop is actually a shirt, and I'm just kind of pulling on it like that. It clings to clothing, all right? Now, will leather do that? A little bit, but not like this. Not like that, okay? This clings to it really, really well. That's a good thing if you're carrying in your pocket, because when you draw, you want the gun to come out and the holster to stay, which is exactly what happens with Remora holsters. However, these are not just pocket holsters, and that's what I like about them so much. They also work really well as inside the waistband holsters. The most interesting part about that is they have no clip whatsoever. There is no clip. Not like this one made by DeSantis, I believe. Yeah, it obviously has a nice big clip on it to go around your waistband and then kind of come back around and hook onto your belt to hold this in place. Well, how does it stay in place without a clip? The same way it stays in your pocket, with that grippy texture and rubberized surface. And I'm telling you, it works. Now, I've had a couple situations in which I was doing some draw and shoot drills, and I had this holster and gun slip out together as I was drawing. Now, that can happen, okay, depending on the type of clothing you're wearing. At the time, I was out in the desert. I was out there in the sun, intending to spend a long day out there. So naturally, I was wearing synthetic clothing that wicks that sweat away and keeps me cool. And some of that synthetic clothing is just downright slick, okay? It is. It just doesn't have, things don't cling to it very well. Even this stuff, all right? So if you wear a lot of synthetics, depending on what you do and where you live, I suppose, that could be an issue. But if you're like me and you wear cotton blends most of the time, this is not going to be a problem. This is actually going to be very nice. It slips into your waistband, just like so, and it actually stays there really, really well. And here's one more reason that I like this holster a lot. The comfort factor. That's huge. That is enormous when it comes to concealed carry. If it's not comfortable, okay, if it bugs you to have it there, if it hurts when you sit down and you're driving your car, or it hurts when you're moving around or you're doing whatever, if it's uncomfortable for you, you're probably going to stop and look for another way to carry. Well, The Remora holster has not been uncomfortable for me, and that's why I keep using it. So I continue to use this holster and why it's shaped to my gun now. So there's a couple factors that I think are really key with holsters. It's got to retain. The holster's got to stay in your pants, right? Or stay attached to your belt or whatever it is, right? It's got to stay there. Next, it's got to be comfortable, okay? And I mentioned that this one is that. It's both of those things. The other one that I think is crucial, and some people might say is not so crucial, but according to the stuff that I've learned, the training that I've had, the little bit of professional training I've had, guys, reholstering is a big deal, okay? Putting your gun back into its holster, either during training or during an actual defensive encounter, is a big deal. And I'm not going to go into all the reasons why. I'm just going to tell you, you want to be able to reholster your gun. Can you do that with the Remora? Let's go through this and talk about that for a minute. Yes, in your waistband, because it is just grippy and no clip whatsoever, and also because it is so soft, this Remora holster will squish down and collapse once you remove the gun. Okay, the pressure of your belt, how you have it tightened to whatever level, will cause it to do so. Can you get your gun back in there? Yes, yes you can. I can. I haven't really had a lot of trouble with it. It doesn't go as quickly as you know, a dedicated hard Kydex type holster would, something that's on the outside of my belt. However, let's say that's the holster right there and it's closed from the clothing. Just kind of rock it in from behind, push it in, and that's about how it works every single time. Not a big deal. Once again, sort of close down from the clothing, kind of rock it in, kind of like this, and in it goes. No problem. No problem at all. It takes a second. As I said, it's not as fast as some hard Kydex holster on the outside of your belt, but it works fine. If you're really concerned about that, take a look at this. These are their reinforced top versions of the holster. Now, this is going to solve that problem, if you feel that is a problem. Will it still collapse? A little, but not all the way. It stays open a lot, you know, plenty. Makes it quite easy for you to get that gun back into the holster. Now, is there a downside to using the reinforced top version? There's a little extra bulk, okay? So if that's an issue for you, you know, if you want maximum concealability, go with the one that's not reinforced, because it flattens as flat as it gets in your waistband. This one has a little bit more bulk, sticks out just a little bit more. It's slightly heavier, very slightly heavier. I'm going to say that the way that this is done is, you can tell that there's a sort of a line there, a crease, where there's something underneath that material, probably a nylon type of plastic that runs all throughout here and just kind of springs that back open. If this is important to you to have the maximum reholsterability, if that's even a word, which I don't think it is, then just look for this version of it, okay? Just look for the reinforced top model. Problem solved. And I think it's only a few dollars more than the standard Remora. So you might even try both like I did and use the one that you like the best. And I've tried both of them, carried both of them. I prefer the one that is not reinforced because, again, I can put that back in the holster without too much trouble. What we have here is a magazine holder. And this is really cool too. I got the dual magazine holster, even though I only have one spare magazine for this gun. And there's two reasons I did that. One, I might want to get a second magazine for the gun. Well, I guess that would be a third actually. A second spare for the gun. And in that case, I want to be able to carry them both. So, there we go. We got two magazines. Now, this magazine holster is actually compatible with a huge variety of magazines. Not just single stack, but also double stack. You can use pretty much whatever you want in it. I've stuffed my Glock holsters down in there. They fit fine. Yeah, if you want to put that inside your waistband, you're going to be looking at a very wide, increasingly wide waistband, gun, you know, magazines, etc. And it gets a little bit wide for me, even just with the gun and an extra magazine. But you can do it. You can do it. And most of you guys probably won't have any problem with that, so go ahead and try it. Now, one thing I want to mention is my preference has been to not use this in my waistband, but rather in a cargo pocket. Because look at that. Nice and flat, right? Once again, with the pocket plan, okay? That's what they're going for. You can stuff this down in a cargo pocket. It sits nice and flat down at the bottom of that pocket. You've got a little organizer Okay, not just a magazine, but you could put a flashlight, you could put a little stick of gum or whatever, you know, a knife, something like that down in here, and have that down at the bottom of your cargo pocket. So I think that if you're going to shop for the magazine holster, just go ahead and get the one with two. Have that expandability, and I think it also offers a little bit more stability even in the waistband. In the cargo pocket, absolutely offers more stability, but yeah, even in the waistband, I think it offers more stability. So guys, I've got a lot of great experience with these holsters. I love them so far. I absolutely love them. It's my preferred holster right now, and I've been switching off between these and this DeSantis for the Kahr CM9. The DeSantis is a fine holster. It is. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, there's a few things I might complain about it in my review of it, but it's a fine leather holster. Okay, now this one right here is one that I started off with in the Kahr CM9 before I actually had a good holster for it. And what I actually had to do was, if you can see there, is I sort of stitched this down to make it nice and tight for the gun, and then I actually hot glued a piece of leather, I think that's cowhide or something, inside here to make that rigid so it wouldn't close completely when I was putting it back into the holster. Now, I generally don't recommend that you alter your holsters like this, but you know, sometimes if you haven't got anything else, any other way to carry it, maybe that's the best thing to do. Temporarily, it's a temporary fix. But what I would recommend you do instead is look long and hard, maybe not even that long because they're not that expensive. Look at Remora holsters and pick up some for your gun. They come in virtually every size you can ask for. Any kind of gun you might want to carry, they've got a holster for it. Okay, whether you want to go with a single stack 9, a full size 45, you know, a full size Glock, you know, a single double stack, whatever. They've got holsters for it. If you know, I feel like they are best paired with single stack 9s and 380s. Okay, that's my feeling. But like I said before, you can get these holsters for virtually any gun you have. That's, you know, Remora knows what they're doing, and they're creating some good stuff over there. Did I tell you what the price was yet? Something like $25. Totally worth it for a very nice holster like this. That's my review of Remora holsters. I'm the Late Boy Scout. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this helped you out, and I'll see you later.